Hi everyone, it's Father Tony here at Epiphany, and we wanted to put out a short video about what it's going to look like coming back to Mass starting the weekend of May 23rd and 24th. We are resuming our normal Mass schedule, so individual reconciliation is available in the Blessed Sacrament Chapel from 4 to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Mass for the weekends will be 5:30 p.m. on Saturday night. On Sunday morning, it will be at 9 a.m., which is also our live stream Mass, so please know coming to that you may end up on camera, and 11:30 a.m. Our daily Masses are Monday evening at 5:30 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. We are taking a lot of precautions here at Epiphany to make sure that you, our staff, our clergy, everyone involved stays safe and healthy as we begin to come back and worship God as a community. Some of those safety precautions take place before you even get here. We're asking that members of vulnerable communities or anyone with underlying health conditions, please stay at home. Know that the obligation to attend Mass on Sundays and holy days has been dispensed until further notice. So you do not have to come to Mass if you do not feel safe coming to Mass. If you do choose to come to Mass, we ask that you please wear a face covering or mask. We have cloth face coverings available here at Epiphany that have been sewn by our Healing Blanket Ministry, but we recommend that if you want to use those, you come get one, take it home and wash it before you use it. Now we're going to talk about coming into the church. The only doors that are going to be unlocked are the handicap accessible doors at either end of the connector. You can see behind me that these doors are on hold, meaning that they're held open. They will remain this way for weekend Masses until about 5 minutes before Mass. After that, they'll be returned to normal. If you come to Epiphany and the church is open but those doors are closed, you can always use these actuator buttons and hit them with your elbow to get the door to open. Now moving a little bit further into the connector, you're going to notice that on the floor we have these blue lines. These lines are here to help you become familiar with how far of a space 6 feet is, because it's actually a little bit further than you think. So come in, familiarize yourself with this space, and then we're going to ask that you come to the welcome desk. Here at the welcome desk, we have hand sanitizer available for you to use. If you have your own hand sanitizer and a small bottle that you can bring with you to use, that would be great to help us save supply. But if you need it, know that it's here. Now we're going to move further back into the narthex, and we're going to make a pit stop at the restrooms. For safety reasons, we ask that only one person be in the restrooms at a time. So that you know if there's someone in the restroom, only one stall will be available in the restroom, and the other stalls will be locked. There will be disinfectant solution in each of the open stalls in the men's room and the women's room, and we ask that you take the responsibility of disinfecting your own space before and after using it. So now that we've made our pit stop if we need it, we would come further into the narthex, and we're going to stop at this big table. When you arrive at this table, you'll notice that there are bulletin/worship aids here for you to use. These are single-use documents. So we ask that once you take one into the church for Mass, you take it home with you. Please don't leave it here. We're also pointing out that the quiet room is closed. If you find that you need to take your child out of the worship space, we ask that you please use the narthex and the connector to do that. You'll notice that all of the doors into the worship space are propped open, including these doors and the handicap door on the other side. And they will be that way for the entirety of Mass. So we come into the worship space. The worship center looks as it always has. We wanted to keep things as normal as we possibly could. But coming in, you're going to notice that some of the chairs are marked off with more of that blue tape. All of our chairs have been rearranged and spaced so that people attending Mass are sitting a safe distance apart. We ask that you please leave the tape and any signs that we post alone and not move it to sit somewhere you prefer, but sit in an open space. Speaking of seating, we're going to ask that you keep a 6-foot distance apart from all households at all times. So what does that look like for seating? It means that you can sit with people that you live with, But if there are people around you that you don't live with, you need to stay at least 4 chairs apart from them. Mass is going to look a little bit different. We will still, thank God, have the beautiful music that we're known for here at Epiphany. If you look over at the music area, you'll notice that the musicians will be there and that they are safely spaced apart. But because singing takes more energy and propels germs further, we ask that the congregation not sing. Plus, it's really hard to sing with a mask on. So please hum along, sit back and enjoy the music, but please don't sing yourselves. Something else that will feel a little bit different at Mass is receiving communion. So if you follow me over to this section, you'll see that we have distances marked on the floor. When you get ready to receive communion, you'll see these blue X's. Apparently I'm colorblind. There's blue X's all the way down the aisle that mark the safe distances. So as you are coming out of your rows of chairs to communion, please only allow one person on the X at a time. This will keep us all safe. To receive communion, we ask that you leave your mask on until you reach the person who is giving you Holy Communion. Receive communion in your hands, and please keep your hands flat. This will allow us to drop the host into your hands without making physical contact. Step away from the person giving you communion, pull down your face mask, receive the sacred host, put back your face mask, and return to your place. There are a couple of really important things that we need to point out. One of them is you all have been so incredibly generous here at Epiphany. Some parishes have really been struggling during this time, and your generosity has helped us keep everything going as it normally does. You can now bring your contribution envelopes to church with you when you're attending Mass. Back near the baptismal font, there will be a basket where you can leave your envelopes as you leave the church. An important note about dismissal. We ask that you stay in your place after the closing song ends. We are going to be dismissing row by row. This will allow us to make sure that people are keeping a safe distance apart. And we ask that the whole time you're on church property, you not congregate in small groups. We know that as our community begins to come back together, we're going to want to hug and to talk and to catch up, but right now it's just not safe to do that. So we ask that you come straight from your car to your seat in the worship center, and once Mass is done, you leave the worship center and go straight back to your car. We have this joke here at Epiphany about Epiphany time, how we always start things a couple minutes late, but because of how important our safety is, we ask that you get to Mass early. Please don't come to 11:30 Mass at 11:30 or 9 a.m. Mass at 9 a.m. Please get here a few minutes early and get to your spot in the worship center. Because before Mass starts, either Father Randy or myself will come to the front and will give you important safety reminders right before Mass so that you can remember them. The final step happens after Mass is done. We need volunteers to sanitize all the spaces that we use. The worship center, the chapel, the narthex, the connector, the restrooms, because we want everyone to be safe. And we are asking that parishioners step up and be willing to be the one to sanitize all the spaces that we use after each Mass. We're going to be asking for volunteers, but please know that we take this so seriously that if we don't have enough volunteers to effectively clean our space, we'll have to go back to no public Masses, which we really don't want to do. Right now is still a stressful time. In many ways, it feels like we're right at the beginning of all of this, where things are changing day by day. But we are a people of faith who live with great hope. And right now, it is safe for us to begin coming back together to worship God as a community. So despite the stress, despite the uncertainties that are coming, we have a reason to rejoice. Know that Father Randy and I have been keeping you and your families in our prayers, and we cannot wait to see you again. God bless you.